Greetings, Norwalk Kendo Dojo. Tonight I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how to do suburi in a small space. I've heard some people say that they'd really like to join the Zoom suburi sessions, but they cannot because their house is too small and they're worried they're going to hit something or break something. And of course, that is a very, very valid concern. We don't want you to break anything in your house. So what I'm going to talk to you about tonight is something that I'm going to call Gassho suburi. Gassho is when you put your hands together like this, and suburi, Gassho suburi. So if you ever volunteered for Camp Hanabi at the Norwalk Center, you know that we have to teach 50 kids how to do kendo in a very small amount of time. So what we start with is this Gassho suburi. And it's really good because, well, first of all, we don't have 50 shinai to lend out to anyone for, just 1 hour of trying to teach them kendo, but also we can pack the kids very close together and there's no way that they can hurt each other. Versus with the shinai, it's almost guaranteed they're gonna poke somebody in the eye with the shinai. So this Gassho suburi is actually a really, really good teaching device because for one thing, it makes your hands be in the right position. So your hands should be like this. But a lot of people, because the shinai is round, they actually hold it like this instead of like this. And even if they end up like this, sometimes when they raise it up, they actually rotate it out like this and then they rotate it back. That is not correct. You should lift it up as a unit and down as a unit. So if your hands are like this, you cannot hit with any power. You have to have your hands like this, and then you can have the power of your whole body as a unit behind the hit. Another thing that's good about the Gassho is, again, having to do with your hands and your body position. With the shinai, especially if your hands are apart, it's easy to make your right hand go to the right, and then your tip goes over there. And then when you swing, you have to bring that tip over and down. And that, again, is not correct. When you lift it, you should be in the plane of striking up here. This is not the plane of striking. But if you have your hands in Gassho, it's almost impossible to go this way without messing up your orientation. You can see right away that the elbow is out of position. It's going to be straight up and down. And even with just a basic kamae, with the hands apart, it's easy to, this is straight. If I put my right shoulder forward, my body is not straight, it's crooked. That means your left foot is likely pointing out that way, even if you have forced your right foot to be straight. So what you want to do is be straight, so both feet are straight. And again, it's almost impossible to put your right shoulder forward with this Gassho kamae position because your hands will go that way. So very good means to practice your form and posture. Yet another advantage of doing Gassho suburi is you can do this in front of a mirror. There's no way you can do this in front of a mirror inside your home with a shinai, holding a shinai. You have to be 6 feet back, and that's kind of too far to even be able to see anything. But with this, you can, not only you can practice your footwork, you can look at your form. Like, for example, do you duck your head down when you lift it up? Or when you strike, do you put your head back? Would you put your chin up? You can watch this, and again, you have plenty of room to practice suburi. And finally, if you haven't been doing very much suburi, I hope you've done at least a few in the last 7 months since we haven't been at the dojo, but this is a low impact way, or a good way to make sure that your shoulders are limber. And then you can also work on your body movement without worrying about what is my shinai doing, because that tends to be the focus, especially if you're a beginner or no matter what your level, is to think about the shinai and not your body. So let's go ahead and together, let's do some basic suburi. So take a step back. And so when I say hajime, we'll go ichi, ni, san, shi, and so forth. Okay? Come on, do it. Hajime! Ichi, ni, san, shi, go, rok, shichi, hachi, ku, ju, ichi, ni, san, shi, go, rok, shichi, hachi, ku, 20、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、30、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、40. Last 10. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、Yame. You shake out your arms. So what you can also do, because guaranteed you're not going to hit anything, is you can practice a little bit of the body movement and footwork. So for example, we can take 4 steps forward, each, ni, san, shi, and then 4 back, go, rok, shich, hach, okay? And again, it's pretty hard. I'm lucky I have a very nice husband that lets me use our living room. So I can do this actually with the shinai. But if you have no room, you should be able to at least do a couple steps, hopefully 4. So go ahead and take 4 steps back. And we'll do it together until I say yama. So we're going to be about 7 steps. はい、頑張って。始め 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、1、2、3、4、5、6、7。Last one. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7。早め。Okay, shake out your arms. So as I mentioned, this is a very good thing to make sure your arms are limber, that you move with your body. So I actually use these in our weekly Zoom for Iaido, because Iaido is very heavy. So it's actually going to limit how fast you can do any exercise. Especially if it's a warm-up exercise. So what I do, and also in Iaido, we actually have different types of footwork that we don't do in our kendo practice. So in order to do those efficiently, have a nice warm-up, and cover all of the basic footwork, I do Gassho suburi. So, I mean, the reason I'm covering this is because I really, really would like everyone to be doing suburi every day. Like those 2 sets that we just did, they're less than a minute each. And if you think about, well, actually talking about this awful coronavirus disease, COVID-19, it's been horrible, and everybody's been suffering, but the small silver lining is that you now have time that you didn't have before. So if you have any areas that are weak, you have time to work on them and make them strong. And if you have any injuries, you have time to rest, let those heal. And then after that, after it's healed, you have time to really work on it and make that area that was injured, make it bulletproof. And everyone has time to think about and work on your basics. And that's everyone, including myself, your form and your stamina. And that is one thing you have no excuse if you haven't been working on your stamina, despite being given this gift of time. I mean, it's a gift that you didn't want necessarily, but since you've been given it, please make use of it and work on your stamina. And the reason I say this is because we are inching closer and closer to the time when we can reopen the dojo. That's why I want to make sure everyone is practicing suburi every day. When that time comes when we can meet back at the dojo, eventually, someday, I want everyone to be in good shape. And I'm going to actually do another video on our reopening plans. But basically, it's going to be in phases because we need to do it safely. But we also need to go back to the dojo and do the things that you cannot do at home. For example, work on footwork, really work on footwork. Fumikomi, I know that's very hard to do at home. Fumikomi, getting our calluses back, hitting things. And, we need to see each other. So I'm hoping that that's going to happen someday soon, but it's all going to depend on Los Angeles County's numbers getting out of purple to red. I'm hoping at that point that the center board of directors will give us a go ahead to open up, and again, in a phased, safe manner, but we will definitely be doing it with masks on. And that's why you need to work on your stamina even more so, because with the mask, you'll need to be in even better shape. So, Gassho suburi. Please work on it. お願いします。